Hundreds of millions of years ago, humanity found itself in a strange new world. There were animals they could eat, water they could drink, rivers that they could use for agriculture. During the day, there was a giant fire sphere that gave them heat, and during the night, a sky full of stars protected them. This place clearly belonged to them. They were finally home, and they decided that they could be the masters of everything that existed. And these views worked until society, power structures, and religion ruined it for them. Life had no meaning at that moment, and it hasn't had any meaning since then. Let's start with society. Voltaire once said that the first man who found a plot of land and claimed it his own, and found people simple enough to build him, was the first inventor of modern society. Suddenly, people realized that they did not own the land. They could only own a small part of it, if they could own any at all. And suddenly, they stopped being masters of everything. And of course, with these new structures came new power structures and hierarchies. If people were no longer the masters of all that ruled, then that meant that the people that had more obviously had more power over them. These people created new structures and started wondering if equality was a real thing, if they weren't superior than everybody else. And that's when they took religion. Religion, which once was used to explain all the world and to explain people's place as the masters, was suddenly used to oppress them. Power structures had this powerful weapon. They used it to justify these new structures. Outlined at the bottom, the writer of Status Anxiety declared that the Bible creates this giant hierarchy where every single thing in existence had a superior and an inferior. And of course, structures use this with the excuse of furthering the will of God, when all they wanted was just to take power. Then we move on to the Middle Ages, a place so stricken by inequality that social mobility was completely impossible. Shakespeare once said that life was a stage and everyone in it were actors, because that's how people used to live. If you were born a pig farmer, you could only aspire to be a very good pig farmer, because otherwise you had nowhere else to go. Kierkegaard, Danish philosophist, said that life seemed like a cruel joke. What kind of God would create such amazing people, such complex and intricate minds, just to turn into food for worms? Finally, the people's thoughts of being the masters of the universe ended during the Renaissance, where faith started being replaced by experiments that could be repeated. Nowadays, we have modern science that has showed us that the universe does not belong to us. It just exists. The sun and the stars, they're not bright for us. They only are. We are just a tiny little part of the universe, and we have no real meaning after all. There's a universe full of gazillions of stars and millions of galaxies, and we're only a small part of them. Turns out that life has no meaning, and many people nowadays believe so. Many say it with pessimism. Many think that that's a horrible thing, but I believe that it doesn't have to. If life has no meaning, if nothing really matters, then that means everyone gets to dictate their own meaning. Think about it. Any bad thing that you do, any bad things that you say, or anything good will just be erased from memory in a couple of years. So why bother so much? Why take life so seriously? If we only have a limited time here, then why not just have fun with it? Find our passions, dedicate our life to them, learn, grow, become better. Because in the end, life has no meaning. But we can create our own. Thank you.